for me, it was to be honest. I don't think I was ever like this. You know, Allah knows. So really, because for me the main thing was suffering, my own suffering, or the things that my suffering led me to the question: what is truth? And I assumed that truth can only be one thing.
Yeah,
like this was like as a like I never really thought about it then.
Makes
but
sense.
this was my way to. And nowadays you can literally see it. You know, you have 5 people in the room. Everybody says no. This is the truth. This is the truth. It can't be everything the truth.
Yeah.
It must be one thing that's correct.
Yep.
And so I was looking for that. And if you're looking for that, then actually before I took my Shahada, it puts you on the spot, because when truth hits you, then it puts then is you a question now. Truth doesn't need you. Islam doesn't need you. Yeah, but you need to make that decision if you accept it or not.
How did you feel when you came to the realization that Islam was true?
It's actually when I was lost again. I don't know how many times I was lost, but this time I was really lost. I mean, really, really, really lost, because I was stranded with my family back then, with my father back then, and I thought, what's the purpose of my life? Like really, I didn't get it, because no one seemed to care. Like there were a few people who cared, you know, you always have a few good people, but my family, close ones, there was no one, you know, and I was 24 then, and didn't know what to do with my life, you know, and there's a lot of like trauma and stuff from my childhood, you know, that all came up and everything, depression. I was looking at the wall, you know, and I was sitting in my father's living room, and he wouldn't raise a finger or anything. Like he would go to work as normal. We wouldn't talk about my life or anything. And I was trying to figure out like, what am I going to do now? So because I had plans to go to a different country back then. It didn't work out. It all drew me back to where I was, which was actually connected to my past. You know, I had to solve a few issues in my past, you know, that were like unconscious. So it drew me always back to my family. Yeah. But they were not helpful. So that was the moment when I felt really lost, and I made a prayer to God. If you know I'm sinning, you know, I knew I wasn't like I was doing maybe things that I'm not supposed to do, whatever. I said, I'm sinning. I don't find the way. Please guide me. And I wrote it down. And I was like in the night on the balcony of my father's. I didn't have my own place. I quit my flat before I quit my health insurance and everything, because I wanted to. Literally, I wanted to quit this normal life. Yeah. Because what I did was, maybe I fill in the gaps a tiny bit if it's okay. After this whole quitting my job and this, I got some good work, like seasonal work, and I made some money. And then I wanted to travel throughout the winter. I was traveling then in Morocco. So it was one of the best times. Like I felt really free. You know, I was just going with the flow, kind of. I was very open, but and then I wanted to go to France. That was the idea, but it all crashed and it all came down. So this whole notion of being free, this whole feeling that I had, it all came down in my father's place, kind of. Yeah. And I was like, it's bare knuckle hard reality, like. And this is when I made the dua and the prayer, and 1 month later I was Muslim.
Wow.
So that's in the time I was working with. So I met a friend from my youth time, and he had an Italian pizzeria place, and I would work at his place because I was depressed. You know, I wasn't in a good state of mind. So I was working there 12 hours a day or so, like cleaning the kitchen and the toilets and whatever. Like, and he's Sri Lankan, and they're Muslim. And I sat there with him, which was another thing. Like funny people used to visit this place, like criminals, and sometimes these restaurants, you know, and this restaurant business, that's what I noticed, like there were really shady people around it. And there was stuff going on with weapons, there was stuff going on with drugs, there was stuff going on with people being in jail, and so on and so forth. So I had an apprenticeship as a childcare worker, and now I was in this kind of environment. Anyway, I was sitting there with him, and I said, I think if I die now, I will go to hell. I mean, I was in this desperate mood. I still, until today, I don't know where it came from. If it had, if it comes from a Christian background or so, like the idea of hell. But I said, I think it's not looking good, you know. And this when he told me, why don't you go to a mosque? So his father was a very practicing Muslim. And this was the first time I went into a mosque.
How'd that feel?
You know, I was already accustomed to sitting on the floor, and because I went to, but they would put a table in the middle of the masjid, and they would try to feel welcome me as a Westerner. You know? But it wasn't actually needed.
That's the first time.
Alhamdulillah,
No way.
So I met really good people.
Alhamdulillah,
really good. Really jazakallah khair to the imam at the masjid. So, and they would have stands in the city, like dawah. The dawah stand that was before everything, before the like ISIL and these kind of extremist ideas. So that everything was shut down. But it was before that, which was a difficult time for new Muslims. I really have to say that it's to have these is a danger. You know, people went to Syria. It's crazy. But for me, like as a sign, why would I join? Like after describing why would I? Anyway, it's still unbelievable for me. Yeah. So there was a dawah stand where I then took my Shahada.
MashaAllah.
So one brother he told me like 2 verses or like 2 or 3 verses of the Quran that made me like that was the point. Yeah. First was so. If a donkey is carrying books, what's he getting out of it? Meaning you have knowledge, you think you have knowledge, or you're a read man or whatever. Because I read a few books or something, I thought I have knowledge. Why do I need a religion? Yeah, I believe in God, but why do I need to follow anything like? So that was one that struck, and then another one was. That when the mother of Isa alayhi salam, Maryam, when she was pregnant with Jesus, then she had to shake the palm tree so that the fruits would fall down. Meaning God doesn't send down the fruits like in front of us, but we have to do something. So if I say, there is God, this is I have to do something about it. So what's the proof? What is my shaking on the tree where I confirm that I believe in God? So this was the final argument where I said I have to come forward now and take the Shahada. I didn't investigate into Islam much, because on the notion of I was so convinced that there is a creator and there is so it fit very well with me. And then afterwards I noticed that patience and thankfulness are maybe the biggest, I don't know, I have no idea, the very big virtues in Islam. So it fit very well with my experience, you know.